Hey, what's up, Libra? It's your boy MTownTarot here to do your general reading for the next 30 days. All right, so let's jump right in. Spirit and guides, we welcome you into this reading for Libra. Please give us the most relevant messages and the most relevant advice for Libra at this time. And we thank you in advance for removing my personal opinions and biases out of the reading. All right, Libra. So we're going to try something a little different this go around. We're going to do a Celtic cross. And if the reading resonates with you, please like, comment, subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel financially, that information is in the description box below. All right. So what are the present energies surrounding Libra at this time? What are the present energies surrounding Libra at this time? We got the wheel. So divine timing is at play right now in your life. Some of you may be feeling or experiencing, good luck, as people will quote. But I wouldn't necessarily call it luck because the wheel is a major arcana. It's something that is really out of our control, but kind of driven by the universe. So some of you may be experiencing a time of being high on the wheel, where things are working out in your favor and working out for you. And some of you may be on the lower spectrum of the wheel, where you feel where things are kind of out of your control and it's probably not feeling so well. But with the wheel, we all have our go around the wheel. So we all have good times and we all have bad times. So if it's a good time for you, celebrate that. And if, times aren't so good for you right now, just hang in there because the wheel will turn. What's the immediate challenge facing Libra at this time? Immediate challenge. The Five of Swords. So that's a lot of mental conflict that's going on around you at this time. I don't think that whatever mental conflict you're having at this time is something that is going to last very long. This is a minor card, so that's just, energy that's here today. And, you may not feel that way tomorrow. What has happened in the distant past with Libra? What has happened in the distant past with Libra? The High Priestess. So, some of you may have tapped into your intuition. You may have, some of you may have went out on like a meditation retreat where you learned meditation. Some of you have been on a spiritual journey, maybe throughout this quarantine period. And that kind of put a lot of things in perspective for you. That kind of aligned, you were able to align your thoughts maybe with the way you desire for things to go. Maybe before then you were kind of a busy person, always on the go, and never really had the opportunity to kind of, sit down, relax, and gain perspective. And it seems like in the distant past you were able to do that. Some of you may have got counsel from a spiritual guru or something of that nature. What has happened in the recent past with Libra? What has happened in the recent past with Libra? Some of you may have dealt with a Taurus. Temperance. So whatever this moment you had in the past, whether it was with you going within to meditate, or having some type of spiritual experience or awakening, it taught you how to balance yourself. And balance, I know, is a big thing with Libra. Some of you may have dealt with been dealing with a fire sign, a Sagittarius. Again, that's another major arcana. So some of you may have experienced some traumatic or not so favorable things happen in your life, and this time of being able to kind of sit down and not have as much to do as you usually would, you were able to gain some perspective, some insight. You tapped into your instincts. You had that direct connection with spirit, and you were able to transmute, let's say if you were, heaven forbid, someone who was molested, you were able to come to terms with that, possibly, forgive whoever that person was, not forget, but maybe forgive, and you are now taking your power back, and now you're advocating for other people who have possibly been molested or sexual assaulted. So now you're becoming like an advocate almost, if that makes sense. What is the best outcome for Libra? What is the best outcome for Libra? Queen of Wands. So you will have a inner fire. Passion will be lit. You will probably work behind the scenes. And you may deal with maybe a more mature fire sign female that may help you out in this situation. And of course, fire, if you're not familiar, is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But the Queen of Wands is someone who has a lot of passion, a lot of spunk about herself, personality, pizzazz, charming. So you may be, feeling yourself and filled with passion, especially if it was that later scenario where, you're now turning from someone who was probably a victim, but now you're becoming an advocate for other victims. And this is really, really, really going to light your fire. Now, what's in the immediate future for Libra? What's in the immediate future for Libra? Judgment. So Libra, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas here. So this was due timing. Everything, the way you were able to finally sit down, tap into your intuition, transmute that energy that you were dealing with, and balance that out and turn it into power. This was all, divinely timed, especially with the Wheel of Fortune there, and Judgment is here. So you will make judgment for those who possibly had no judgment, or for victims who thought who maybe their person would never face a judge or get away with it. Not with you around. Some of you, you're reaping, these good benefits because you learned the lesson. I mean, the universe, we all go through things for a reason. And a lot of times we can become a martyr to it. We can become a victim, and we get stuck in that, and that turns into anger and resentment and things of that nature. But we all come here to learn lessons. And when you get those lessons, the universe rewards you for those. And I think that's what's happening for you, whatever, however this resonates with you at this time, Libra. Now, what factors are affecting this situation for Libra? What factors are affecting this situation? Queen of Cups. So this may be your mother or someone's mother affecting your current situation. It could also be a water sign, a Cancer. It could be a Scorpio. It could be an Aquarius. Or it could be that you are now where maybe you weren't really in tune with maybe your emotions, that now you are now, and this is whether you are a male or female, in touch with your feminine side of your emotions. You feel more, in control, because a lot of times, as I mentioned, if it's something that you experienced in the past that was traumatic for you, if you held on to the resentment, the rage, that the anxiety from, going through something like that, that drives you every day. That drives every move you make, every decision. It drives who you connect with, what you attract to yourself. And by you going within, tapping into that intuition and aligning and transmuting that energy with this Temperance card, you're now starting to feel again. You're now starting to feel your emotions, and you're actually in control of them. They're not controlling you. What external influences are affecting Libra at this time? What external influences? The Tower, which is another major arcana. And what the Tower is that a lot of times we will build lives, we will build relationships, just things on foundations that are not really solid. And what happens is the universe comes in spirit and strikes, that tower down. And what can feel like a disaster at the time, because it's something that's beyond your control, but it's something that usually we should have let go of a long time ago, but we refused to. So the universe came in, struck it down, broke up all of that, nasty foundation. And what happens is a brand new solid foundation that works for your good, your highest interest, is laid. And then a tower is rebuilt on something solid. It's a new beginning. Things are never the same after a tower. But if you can embrace it, roll with it, go with the flow, then everything is going to work out in your favor. It's when you're still trying to hold on, when it's, the universe trying to move you along, is when you will, kind of feel a little pain because of resistance. With a lot of you all, what I'm feeling, maybe if this wasn't in your physical world, this was like in your mental world, when you went in, as I mentioned earlier, and tapped into your intuition and gained insight. They gave you clarity. They gave you a tower moment mentally, where you were able to gain some insight and clarity in the way that you used to think. You just don't think that way anymore. So this is however this resonates with you, all of this is divinely guided by the universe. So anything that the universe or God does for us, it's always better than, the plan that we have for ourselves. And usually it lasts a lot longer, and we're usually a lot happier about that than what we could have built for ourselves. So a lot of times what we think we want and what we go after are based off of things that are really not for our highest good. It's based off of anxiety, as I mentioned, insecurities, not feeling good enough, So the universe gives you exactly what you need. So what are your hopes and fears? What are Libra's hopes and fears? What are Libra's hopes and fears? A card flipped. I'm going to take that. the Ace of Swords. So some of you are hoping that you can gain this, that you can maintain this clarity, and that you do not go back to your old way of thinking. Others of you, especially if you're like in the middle of this tower moment, are searching for clarity as to like, what is going on here? Why am I experiencing this? What is the lesson I'm supposed to get out of this? What is the purpose? And I see that you will get that clarity. So for others, you went in and you got that clarity and you know what it is now. But others, we're not all on, the same pace of, going through journeys and cycles. But for others, you're hoping to get clarity, and you will. You will. And what's the final outcome for Libra? What's the final outcome for Libra? Eight of Pentacles. So for others that I mentioned that, you're now becoming an advocate for others, you're going to get to work really fast. Others who are still wondering about, why am I in this situation? You're still in the middle of this tower moment and you're still looking for some clarity. I see that you will be doing the work, the inner work, that the Libras, because there's two Libras I'm talking about, sets of Libras rather. There's a set of Libras who already did the insight, sat down, got the clarity, and they're moving forward. And then there's others who are just, going through this moment. You kind of maybe held on too long, didn't want to change, but the universe made you change anyway. You will be doing the work to get to the place of the High Priestess where you do have insight. And that makes me go back to where I told you in the beginning of the reading that some of you are experiencing good things and some of you may not be experiencing so much of favorable things at this time, but it's all working for your good either way. There's just some of you who, did the work, and there's some who, kind of held on and didn't do the work, which is okay, because the work will be done regardless. You do it when Spirit tells you, and if not, he does it for you. So, all right, so let's get you some advice, Libra. What advice do we have for Libra? What advice do we have for Libra? We got the King of Pentacles. So for some of you, an earth sign may play a role or a key figure. For others of you, male or female, doesn't matter. You're going to walk into a fruitful time, a very fruitful time, as to where if you're someone who's advocating, starting something to be able to advocate for the less fortunate, you're actually going to, as you do that work, the universe is going to pay you and reward you back in the physical material form for doing that. And you're going to have a lot of money and enough to share and spare with other people as well. We have the Moon card here. So there still may be things that you don't necessarily know as of yet. You may still have some more research and work to do. But the Moon kind of fell on top of this High Priestess. So continue to follow your instincts. Continue to follow your intuition. Continue to stay balanced. Continue to make sure that you are balanced between your light and your dark. And the universe will give you all the insight that you need. Six of Swords. So I do see a lot of you mentally. Spirit is advising you to, when it comes to like this mental unrest with the Five of Swords, to kind of move away mentally to calmer waters. If some of you have children, I'm really picking up so strong about someone advocating for children and going in and like rescuing children out of these horrendous situations, whether it's social work or whatever it is, and taking them to places where, or maybe even creating like a community or some type of help center where you house kids who experience like traumatic things that you've went through. Because you went through it and you got through, you're able to advocate and help them. So I do see that as well. And because this reading was kind of heavy, I'm going to pull a few Rebel deck cards. Now, there's a little cussing in the Rebel decks, but it's fun. It's kind of gut punching advice, so I like it. Don't like to leave a reading on a, heavy note like that. All right, Libra. Let's get us a couple Rebel decks and get on out of here. Get some fucking sleep. You're being an ass because you're fucking tired. Face to the pillow now. So some of you may need to get some sleep. Make better fucking choices. If you are pissed at where you are, then stop talking yourself there. No, stop taking yourself there. I'm sorry, I can't read. So that's for some of you ones who the tower had to hit you because you would not, let go or change. It changed for you. And you're going through some tough shit. Everyone has their turn. Welcome to yours. Gather your tired ass up and handle it. I mean, it's the cards for me. Didn't I say that? All right, Libra. So I'm going to end it here. If it resonated with you, please comment, help your boy out by subscribing. If you like to support the channel financially, that information is in the description box below as well. Until next time, take care.